I'm just stalling. You know, just stalling. Waiting for that notification to go off like I always. Oh, well, there it is. I don't have to stall no more. All right. Well, welcome. Make sure my volume's up. Yes, indeed it is. Welcome to Troy Graham Experience, Daddies Lounge, episode number 49. 49. In a couple of days, I'm going to surpass my own age. How about that? 49 episodes. Let me see if I do my math right. Nah, I'm not going to have the 40, the 50. I want to hold it out till my birthday, but I'm not going to. But anyway, what's today about? What's today about? Okay, so every morning I get up, I say the same prayer, right? Say the same prayer, and it's all about me saying that I'm being patient, purposeful with my prayers, and I shall be profitable. All right, I say that all the time, all the time, all the time. I have this vision. I'm driven by a vision that I will be wealthy on so many different levels. You're wealthy when you have money, but you could be unhappy. You're wealthy when you have land, but you ain't got no money. So me, I want it all. I want the ability to say that I have some fluid money, billions and billions of dollars in fluid money. I want to I want to own so much land that my family will never ever have to worry about a place to stay. And that if someone's in need, I can help them. It's not just about me. I don't want to gain things just for me. I want to help people. Anyhow, so I'm listening to a brother by the name of Myron Golden this morning. I listen a lot of positive stuff. I listen to him. And he has some good books also, from the Trash Man to the Cash Man and Boss Moves. Myron Golden, right? So I don't remember what exact he said. What he said was, I'm gonna paraphrase it because I don't remember the whole how he put it, but he said, God gave you a vision. Now you have to believe in him to carry out to guide you through the mission. I was like, wow, I never think about it. And then I start thinking back on my own life about some of the things that I was driven to do coming up young, and people could never, sorry, I'm blocking myself out. You could never understand what led you from point A to point B besides your 2 feet, right? That being said, that those words hit me so hard when he said, God gave you a mission, a vision. Now you have just believe in him and he shall help you carry out your mission, right? I was like, wow. And I thought about that this whole time. I thought about that because I get up early in the morning. Like I got up at 3:30 today. Tomorrow I gotta get up at 6, right? So early days. So I was thinking about that. I thought about when I was 16 and I wanted to box 17, 16, 17. Wanted to box. Didn't know how I was gonna do it. But I found a way when I came to Maryland. And eventually I got good after getting lumped up a couple of times, you know. Uh, and just think about it. Just think about something that you were so fired up to do, but you didn't have know how to do it in the first. You had no idea where you were going. You didn't have no guidance. No one in your family ever did it. And if you ever mention it to them, they tell you how you gonna do it. Nobody else did it. I, right? And then that didn't stop you. You just kept going. And then you flash ahead. Let's say it's 30 days later, and you started way over here with no knowledge. And now you over here with some understanding. Another 30 days, you got more understanding. Another 30 days, you getting the hang of this because you have a vision and you're not letting anything stand in your way and you're allowing God to guide you on your mission. Because you when people ask you why you want to do this, you'll say, I love it, I'm just driven. But the truth will be revealed to you in time. Now, how does that account to the show today in fatherhood? You were given a vision of your children, whether you believe it or not. You were given a vision, and then once they got here, you knew that this was your mission to raise them, and you put them in God's hands and said, "Okay, I'll put the footwork in on earth, but you help me with the impossible, in heaven." How about that? How about that? Right? And then when it's so beautiful when they're young, like you play with them, everybody, oh, they're so cute, they're so this, they that. They're not changing pampers. They're not dealing with the teething. They're not dealing with the late night feedings and teaching them how to potty training them, living on the second floor and putting two boys in the tub at the same time. They're splashing water, even though you got a blanket down. It's still going down on the neighbors who complaining. Uh, one of them's on the schedule, the other one's giving you hell to get on the schedule, right? But you know, it. I'm laughing because I've been fired up about this ever since 3 o'clock this morning, and I didn't go back to sleep. I'm not tired at all. Like this was my mission today to talk about this. Yeah, I thought about that the whole day. Said God gave you a vision. Now it's up to you to believe in Him and allow Him to help you carry out your mission. Because I knew when my sons were born. Uh, let's start with this sister because I came in her life at 2. She was 2, so I knew at a certain age with her that I ain't going nowhere. I'm staying right here. I didn't bring you into the world, but I'm sure going to help you grow into it and guide you. Right? I was younger then, had a lot of energy, so I could do a whole lot more. So yeah, it just became my mission to help the little girl see through life and talk to her about stuff and things like that. And then my sons came, you know, my sons came, and I was like, I got to start all over again. 29, then they came again at 30, 31, and they came again at 34. And I said, man, no more. I got my 4 and I don't want no more. And hey, we were stuck like glue and true blue after that. Hey, the only time I didn't see them was when I was at work or like every other Saturday when I hung out with the fellas. But it was my mission. I didn't name and people always ask, why didn't you name any of them Junior? For real, why I didn't do that? Because I really just wanted them to be who who they were going to be. That's why. That's, I mean, that's the only reason. And plus, I was just in a place where I was like, man, I'm struggling. I don't want them to struggle like me. So I let the good Lord guide my soul, man. My first son was going to be named Garvey. Yeah, his first name like after Marcus. I remember him kicking my hand off his mother's womb. He was so active in the womb. I remember all that. And then he was born, and she was like, well, no, I don't like the name Garvey. So I said, what? I'm going to name him Marcus. And then the next one, I had read Malcolm X, right? And I was thinking about, and he died. I'm sorry. My son was born the same month my brother got killed, the second son. And that weighed heavy on me, that how life could be taken and another life could be given. Another life comes into the world. And he reminded me of him, his energy. But my brother was intelligent, but he could go from 0 to 60 if you try to corner him or punk him or whatever the case may be. He sits by himself and he reads at parties. That's the type of dude he was. You take him to a party, he'd open up a book and go in the corner and go read. So he wasn't a troublemaker. But if you push it with him, he was tall and slender like Malcolm X. And then I saw Malcolm X's picture when he was a young boy. That's my brother. That's how my brother looked. Just darker. Well, dark like me. And then my son came into the world. He was just. I said, "Yeah, I'll name you after your uncle. I was gonna name him Garfield." They were like, "No." So I said, "Fine, I'll name him Malcolm X," which is what I named him, Malcolm X. See, I had a mission. See the thing going on, the Marcus, the Malcolm, and then the next one came, and he was so beautiful, a little pretty red boy. He was red like a cherry. Had jaundice real bad when he came into the world. So I said, as a joke, I said, "Let's name him Nat Turner." Hell no. I said, "Okay, Malik." No, so she, no. But that's enough about me. Uh, you're gonna hear about me throughout the show. But I was just thinking about that, man. If you leave, if like this is to the young fathers that are like, man, I don't know if I can handle this. I tell you what, if you leave, you'll never finish your mission. You'll never finish anything in life. You'll never find no joy either because you walked away from it. That's why. And when every time things get tough, guess what you're gonna do? Run, 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 run away. Run, 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 run away. That's right. You're gonna run. You're gonna run. That's right, baby. You're never gonna see nothing through. And because you don't see nothing through, ain't no one gonna stand by you. That's the way life works. It's just like a big circle, like my grandmother used to tell me. Life is a circle. Don't spit in the wind, all that stuff. She told me all that. Don't do that. Don't give up. Don't give up on yourself and don't give up on them because this I can guarantee you if I when I once I get a panel on here, we sit down as a group of men, nine out of everybody in there will tell me, or most of them in there will tell me that I saw my child or my children before I had them. Yeah, you did. You did. Hmm. And then, well, if something powerful like that hits your soul and you run away, you're not gonna find no peace. You're not gonna find no joy. You're gonna keep running. Sometimes uphill just to fall all the way back down. Here you are. You saying, "Oh, hey, I'm making a little bit of money. I got, I got what seems to be a good woman. I got a car. Like, I'm doing all right. I'm making it. I'm making it." And then somebody, like, if you're fishing and somebody starts skipping rocks in the pond or in the river or whatever, that messes you up. And then guess what's gonna happen? You going life gonna be seeming like you going good. Everything going good for you, and then that one pebble gonna come and hit you and throw you off, knock you all the way back down. Guess what you gonna do? You gonna fight your way back up? No, you're not. You gonna run like you always have been doing, cause you got the vision, but you never finished the mission. And years will pass by, and you might even pass your son on the street or daughter and never know who they are until somebody from this side of the family says, "Well, that's your child," and you're gonna be like, "Wow, he looks just like me, or he looks just like my mother, or so and so," but they don't know you. You're a stranger, and if you have a relationship with them, it's toe in, toe out, because you in, then you out, you in, then you out. It's not a relationship. That's pain. That's indecisiveness. It'd be better if you stay away. Too many broken hearts. I'll be there by 7 to pick you up, baby girl. 7, 7:30, 8, 9. You ain't show up. I'm gonna buy you a bike. Okay, you bought the bike, and I'm gonna teach you how to ride it. You never came. I'll be there for your graduation, baby girl. Trust me. I'll be there. Mhm. You don't show until finally they like, I don't even want to be bothered. I don't even have no strength to hate them. I just don't care anymore. So while you're losing time with them and nothing's going right in your life, you know what they've lost? The ability to love all the way because they're always looking for the other shoe to fall off or someone not to show up for them. So that heart, and they start building that wall around their soul. On the outside, you could skin teeth, smile like they say, and hide in plain sight. While deep down inside, you're not what you're professing to be. You're not happy. You're just there. You're just there, but not happy. Hmm. I seen. I've never hung around any men that didn't take care of their children. Never, 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 never. Don't forget the Bev. Never, never, never. But think about that. There's somebody out there right now, that's about to put his foot out the door, never to return. Mm, well, all you got to do is turn that foot back in, and that painful lesson you'll never learn. If you stay and don't go away, you'll go through many changes, but it'll be sunlight at the end of the day. Trust me when I tell you, I know. And when you see when times get hard, you might you might shake, you might crack, but refuse to break. You might even feel like walking away, but God gonna touch you and say, "Don't do that for heaven's sake." How do I know that? Shit, because I was to that point one time where I don't want to do none of this. I had enough of y'all. I'm done. I'm leaving. Goodbye. You on your own. I'm leaving. And I was this close to doing that. No lie. I was this close to like saying, let somebody else step in here and take care of this mess. It ain't for me to do no more. But everything in me, I kept seeing the horrible outcome if I left. And sure enough, I stayed. Thank God I did. Went through a storm, and after the storm came the sunshine. Was it easy? Absolutely freaking not. But that's what the thing with growth. When you first start working out, you feel pain because you know because you're reawakening the muscles you haven't used in I don't know how long, right? So you're gonna feel pain before you see the muscles. But if you stop and don't go through the pain, you'll never see the muscles ever. You'll never gain that strength ever. You'll just always be this guy that says coulda, shoulda, woulda, and then that's it. That's it. I mean, hell, I had some days like that. I was Mr. Coulda, shoulda, woulda, where I just want to lay in bed and like, oh, okay. I dropped them off at school. They can make it home by themselves. Whatever. Yes, I did do that. I did. I was like, man, yeah, I'll go there. Hell, let the school keep you. I don't want to do this no more. Right? Yeah. And one day I got so upset with a teacher talking about, you know, that I was a babysitter. She said, "Yeah, I have them all the hours of the day. You just," and I had to let her know, slow your roll, teacher. I'm nobody's damn baby. I said that. The principal had to come because my chest was like going up, and she a little short Caucasian lady. I was like, hold up, I'm nobody's damn babysitter. Where the hell you get that from? I'm their father. You just their teacher. You got on what 4 hours a day or whatever the case may be. You don't stop it, stop it. So you're gonna go through that. You're gonna go through them rebelling. You're gonna go through the triumphs when they triumph. You know, you're gonna go through a lot of things. But I promise you, no, I don't want to do that. But I promise you, if you see it through, you're gonna be happy at the end of the day. Right? Sorry about that. You're gonna be happy at the end of the day. I promise you, you will be. When will that end of the day come? I don't know. Mine took years. It took years. But think about this. If you never, and it's not like you stop being a father once they hit 18, 19, 20, 20 plus and all that. No, you become a guide. Now you're a guide and you're talking to a basically a grown man then. A man you put in this world. So you basically still responsible for no matter what age they are. You don't take responsibility for the wrongs they do. No, that's on them. That's on them. Right? So yeah. So that being said, now even when they're that older, you still give them some guidance. You don't leave them and say, "Hey, they old enough. Bye. Make it on your own. I'm not answering no questions. What's on my forehead? Information? No, it's not. Bye." Mm-mm. When them calls come, and they will, and they will, and they will, and sometimes they won't, and they won't, and they won't answer them. Hell, when you see them stop calling, and you call them. So what the hell is up with you, man? I haven't heard from you. What's up? Oh no, I'm just. You just what? Too good to call your daddy? You don't need nothing, so you can't call me. Hmm. Okay. Stop it. That being said, do I have a blueprint on how to do this? The only thing that I know how to do is to tell you my story and what I went through. That's it. If that's you want to use that as a blueprint, be my guest. I don't want you to. I don't want anybody to. Whole lot of ups and downs, See how my hand is steady? Very few times as a father will that be your story. It ain't gonna be like this all the time. It's gonna be more or less up and down, up and down, up and down. Bam, bam, bam. Like if you ever box, they put you on that 3 minute drill where you have to just punch for 3 minutes nonstop. Boom, boom, boom. And it's two people on the bag, so you gotta go. Each of them, we just have to keep going around for 3 minutes. And the one who gets tired is the one who's gonna get punched in the face because a punch, he's constantly pushing the bag. So you gotta time it when you throw your punch. And if you get tired, you still standing there and that punch come and the bag is gone, you get punched in the face. How I know that? I got hit once or twice even though I did most of the hitting overall. But I got hit once or twice. It wasn't nice, but I stayed the course. I stayed on the vision because I knew I had a mission. And the new didn't happen, unfortunately. But it can happen with the children. Everything you say to them, you think they're not listening? They hear you. They hear you. Okay? They hear you. Even when you think you just on the phone venting or whatever, they hear you. Even when you might be talking to your woman, you're like, I wish I could come over there right now, but I can't. Kids are here and I'm so tired. I love them, but this is so much work. And they hear it. They don't hear the I love you part. They just say it's a lot of work. So what's the best thing for you to do? Don't try to understand it. You didn't plan for none of this. The only thing you plan to be is a father. So work it out. Work it out. The same way everybody's born with some level of creativity, compassion, and knowledge. Figure it out. Put all those three things together and figure it out. It's really not that difficult because you're the adult and they're children. So the only time it gets difficult is when you get upset and then you can't see anything and you can't think and you can't hear. Most of us could outsmart our children easy. Just watch them. They'll tell you everything they want and why they're doing it. In my case, they were in pain. Going through a divorce. All of us went through the divorce. Hmm. So that's where it starts. How do you do that? You just get creative. Use what you have around you. Don't try and spend past your pain because you'll end up broke. Use everything you have in your house, apartment, RV, whatever, in your hotel, whatever. Use everything you have around you to manifest joy. That's right. Use it. And sometimes the simplest damn thing will make them happy. Buy a damn pre-made pizza, empty a naked pre-made pizza, and you buy the bell peppers, the turkey sausage, and whatever else you want on there, and you get the cheese and the tomato sauce, and have one of them after they wash their hands up say, "Look, you gonna do the tomato sauce, right?" Right. And then you put the seasoning and don't trust them to do the seasoning because you'll have some salty ass pizza. So you already made the seasoning, the garlic, the onions, some black peppers, crushed red peppers, a little bit of lemon pepper in there. Mix it on up. You show them how to use a teaspoon or whatever to go around the spot with it, right? Put a little Parmesan on there. You might want to get some shredded mozzarella. Me, I'm a little different. Well, I didn't do that with the kids, so I didn't do the pepper cheese with the kids. We made theirs separate. So they get the turkey, pepperoni, and one of them wanted some chicken on there. So I got some pre-made chicken breast, the Tyson's, and I had to cut it up, and they sprinkled that on there. They had spinach, cheese, bell peppers, and tomatoes. That was theirs. Mine had tomato, banana peppers, bell peppers, onions, tomatoes, turkey sausage, and yes, shredded pepper cheese. Yeah. Excuse me while I look at this text here, right? And we just sat down at the table and ate, chilled out. We ate. And it was a good thing. Definitely a good thing. So yeah, it was beautiful, man. Beautiful, man. It was just and see, that didn't even cost that much. And if I didn't go out and get that, I could find something in the house and we could get it done. I always have rice, mixed vegetables. There was always chicken in the house, ground chicken, whatever. I make some chicken fried rice. And I introduced them to chicken back soup. You'd be surprised at what makes your children happy. Mainly what makes them happy is you being there. You being there is one of the greatest joys in their world. What child you know ever had chicken back soup early, unless they from the West End? Mine did. $1.25 a pack. You'll have like two, I think three in a pack. So I said, look, I'm gonna spend five. I'm gonna spend 375. That take care of the soup, and we got the Grace seasoning and some other stuff. I introduced them to all that, how to do it, and they were like, "Man, they like this chicken back soup." They really like this chicken back soup. Excuse me. I'm getting all into the story and my hand flicked up. So you'd be surprised at what they like, but in all reality, what they really like is just the fact that their father's there and they're doing something that might seem small to you, but it's monumental to them. Hell, making Kool-Aid with their daddy is monumental. Well, I'm a little different breed, so I would I would show them how to make. I drank hibiscus tea, so I would boil like 12 hibiscus tea bags. Let's say I did nine, and then let's say I did 8 hibiscus tea bags. Then I put 4 lemon tea bags in there. Boil that, then drain the tea bags, cool that down, put ice in there, and then I had some lemon juice, and yes, we had the Kool-Aid, the flavor aid this time, right? So we made hibiscus, lemon, and red Kool-Aid and mixed that joint up, put some ginger in there. I cut up some pineapples and froze them up, put that in there, and they were like, "This is good." I called it the gram potion, and that's what this gram potion tastes good, Daddy. I said, "I know you, y'all made it." I couldn't think of a name. Look, naming stuff is not my strong suit, so we called it the gram potion. The little suckers drank that stuff up, man. They told me, "You gonna teach us how to make some more stuff?" Yeah, yeah, yeah. They teach you how to make some more stuff. But that's how they started. That's how they started for real. You know. What's up, boycott? How you be? How you be? How you be? So yeah, it was beautiful, man. It's the littlest thing. It didn't cost me nothing to make that chicken mac soup. It didn't cost me nothing to make that concoction I made with the hibiscus tea and the lemon tea and the red Kool-Aid. I have fun. And then you take some of that and you get the ice trays and some toothpicks, pour the juice in there. Right when it's about to set, you stick the toothpicks in there, or you go get the plastic, things, the sticks from Walmart. Put them in there, let them freeze. You got some juice. You got some popsicles. That don't cost nothing. Little nothing, and they would love that. They would love that. Shoot, they love that joint, boy. Love it. And grits. Grits ain't nothing in the oatmeal. Because I used to use condensed milk before I got off the condensed milk thing. Start using cane sugar. I introduced that to them. And then I used to buy hard old bread and make grilled cheese with it. And if I had any turkey bacon, it'll be grilled hard old, whatever, grilled cheese with turkey bacon on a hard old bread. So well, actually, I'll grill it. I had an indoor smokeless grill. I grilled that joint up. I had to butter it up, and we sprinkle garlic on there, black pepper, and all the stuff. See, that's a part of the mission. You're there. So now when they get older, they're gonna do the same things with their children, maybe on a different level, but when times get tough, they get creative. And that's what it's all about. That's the mission. Stick and stay. Don't go nowhere. How will you ever get your joy? How will you ever know what the, how will you ever enjoy the mission? And that's a wasted vision. God gave you this vision, man. Don't waste it. Just keep going. You know how many times I've been knocked off my path? How many times I want to just, like I said, become Flash and just run away real fast? How many times? Shoot. But I can only run for so long. And I know you can't be weak all the time, but you got to have that inner strength that says, I'm going to stay strong. And so think about this. You could you could go to sleep right there with them. You can start. You could. We would have nights where we would just watch wrestling. It was Friday night. I'll say, look, take them mattresses down off the bunk beds. We, I'll bring my mattress and get a third mattress from the back room. Spread some sheets out. No eating in the rooms. None. None. And that's another way to get your. That's what I would use to get my kids to sleep. We have wrestling night, but I would make them work for it. And have to help me clean up. If you, most of the time I bought paper plates because I got tired of washing dishes, even though I had a dishwasher. So somebody had to tie up the trash. I never took trash out at night, but tied up, put some of that peppermint oil in there so the rats wouldn't get into it. You like cooking from scratch too. I do not buy processed foods no longer. Though, yeah, yeah, yeah. If I can't read, if there's like a couple of paragraphs on under the ingredients boycott, I don't buy it. But like I was saying, think about this. Some of the simplest things in the world, your kids are gonna bring them back. Your children are gonna bring them back to you when you get older. Just as long as you stay the mission, stay the course. Think about it. I mean, I think about. I was just messing around with them every New Year's Eve. We'd make milkshakes, and I used that hemp chocolate milk because it makes them go to sleep after a while. No, no, stop it with the ganja and weed milk. Stop it. It's not. It's not that. It's not that. Knock it off. But everybody would get to pick. I would buy like 2 gallons of ice cream, and I would get them to pick out one, and I'd pick out the other, right? Because I only had so much daggone money after the chicken, the ground chicken, and the taco shells and everything else. So I'd be like, look, I'll go pick out a flavor you like, you all agree on, and and yeah, I'd mix it on up. I get, I would get them to get whatever cookies they like. We put it all up in there, and we just go at it. And they still remember that to this day. To this day, they still come in there in their 20s. They'll come up to me and say, yeah, you remember you used to make us milkshakes and do this and that and that? I'm like, yeah, yeah, I do remember. Do you? But yeah, let me sit up in this chair. I'm getting way too comfortable. But yeah, man, it was beautiful, man. I remember all that. And then I remember thinking that walking away, I would have never had any of this. I would have never had any of this if I walked away. Not at all. Not at all. I wouldn't have had it, you know. Would have been taken. Would have been gone. Long, long, long away. Would have been gone. And that's what I remember the most. That and just going to the pool. They always wanted. I had a big old belly then. Big old belly. And they wanted me to take, hey, come in the pool, daddy. I'm like, I ain't taking off my shirt. Everybody can see my big old belly. And then one time I did. I jumped in the pool and they were like, do it again, do it again. People were pissed. I jumped into a cannonball into the pool. I think the 5 foot, yeah, they were 5 foot. And they were like, do it again, daddy. I'm like, hell no. But I did it again. They did it again. Like I said, you just have to see if God gives you a vision, just stay the course and finish the mission. El Chicano, how you doing? Says, finally, man, I get a chance to, and then you didn't finish your statement. I stopped buying ice. Okay, okay, yeah. But I equate a lot of things to food because those are the memories I have most with my children. And I had a thing with making sure that they ate, even if I went to bed hungry, which I did a couple of nights. I went to bed hungry. I lived off peanut butter for about 2 weeks one time, just so they would have something to eat. Well, that you have to factor in they were babies and I needed Pampers and baby food, and they had to get that. So I lived off uh, pizza. Not pizza. Peanut butter. And when the bread ran out, I just ate the peanut butter. That's what it is. Just got out of the race. What race, brother? What race? I changed my name. But yeah, I remember all of that. I also remember I ran into a young man, and he was having a child young. He was like 17, and he was like, I'm not gonna be able to do this. I can't take care of nobody. I said to himself, "Where's your father?" So I said to him, "Where's your father?" Because he came up to talk to me. I knew him from school. They once they graduated elementary, then go to high school and stuff. So he knew one of my sons, and he wanted to talk to me. So I said, "Okay." He said, "Well, my father really wasn't around, and da 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 da, and I don't want to be like him." I said, "But you're thinking about leaving. But what makes you any different?" Yeah, me too. Me too. I wash clothes and diapers the old way. Rat race, work. Okay. So yes, I said to him, "What if I can't do it?" He said to me, "Mr. Graham, what if I fail? What if I can't?" I said, "Well, the only reason why you'll fail is if you're not there." I said, "You talking about making mistakes?" I said, "Look at you. Think I don't make no mistakes? Hmm? You see my sons, you think I don't make any mistakes? And I have a barrel full of mistakes I got to make up for. I do that in time. But the one mistake I'll never make is leaving. Mm-hmm. Ain't gonna make that mistake. If you leave, what's gonna happen to him? What's gonna happen to him if you leave? Think about it. He gonna feel just like you do, right? And then he thought about it, but he just was nervous the whole time. He says, "Well, I'm gonna think about it, but I wasn't sure." So he stayed though. He stayed, and the long and short of the story is that he stayed and raised his son. Right? And it was a beautiful thing. And that's one thing I've run into so many youngsters, and even some older cats that wanted to come back into their children's lives, and they were like, "I don't know if I could do it." You don't know if you could do what? That child, you gonna have to work for it. There's no lie. You left, but it doesn't mean that they hate you. You still got a chance. You're their father. They're gonna eventually come around, but ooh, you gonna work for it. You gonna work for it, buddy. You gonna work for it. It ain't gonna be easy because leaving was easy. Shout out to all the fathers, and I don't use stepfathers. I hate that. I've never used that word. Those words, I should say. You're the father. You're not no step nothing. You just God put something on your soul and you stepped in. That's it. Say that. Nobody wants to hear about no stepfather. We don't do that around these parts. Mm-hmm. And so I forgot what the hell I was talking about. This stuff. Right? Got to stop by Mad Chats. I don't do a lot of stopping around anymore, brother. I'm just over. You can find me over here. I dropped the link. You can tell Mad Chat I said what's up. If you want to jump on, the link is right there. But nah, most of the times I keep to myself, man. Damn fly came through the door when I opened the door. Most of the times I find it best to stay to myself, man. Most of the time. But look, I'm gonna stay on here for a little bit longer, and then I'm gonna bounce probably till the 50-minute point. Say, why don't you go an hour? Because I don't want to talk to myself. So that's why. But Please, if anybody is out there who needs to hear it, do not walk away from that vision that God gave you. You know, knuckle up, get ready, and keep walking and see your mission. See, just keep walking because you have a mission. Don't worry, you gonna get help. He gonna help you. No matter how many times you fall, man. Let me tell you something. You know how many times I fall and failed? If I was a captain, I was telling them, I'm good. You know how many times I had to set sail? Every time I fail, I had to come back up and just keep going. Ain't nothing, stopping me. Hell, another thing I did, I used to like doing with them. Well, not really. They always wanted. I taught them about money at a young age. I was driving for a Chinese food place and a pizza place. So China's food place paid me under the table. So he would say, "Look, I got like 300 flyers. I want you to hang out, and I'll give you X amount of money per flyer." So, by the time I was done, he paid me about $40, something like that. Cause I'm like, I'm not doing this for $20, man. I got my sons with me in damn heat, and it wasn't, you trying to rip me off. I'm not doing that. I said, well, pay me 60. Knowing good and well I wanted 50 or 45. So he said, I'm not paying you 60. I said, okay, I'm not doing it. He said, okay, okay, okay. I'll give you 45. I said, that's good. Because you can divide 45 four ways. So I got what I wanted. And on the nights that I didn't feel like cooking, I could buy them something to eat, you know? And plus, I took them with me and taught them a little bit of responsibility. I just kept it in the neighborhood from the city side to the county side, so we didn't have to go too far. And because they were so young, they were 11, 10, 9, and 6. Everybody was like, oh, they're so cute. You got them out here working at an early age. Yeah, I had my car, and then boom, we were gone. And we would finish that in less. Man, we finished that in less than an hour because I would just give each of them like 10 at a time, or actually no, 15 at a time. Whatever I gave them, we finished that joint fast, right? And then when I went back, he paid me. I told him give him half my money up front, or I'm not doing it. So he would give me 25 up front, and he gave me the other 20 when I went back, and that was their 20. The 25 was mine. So I'll be like, look, what y'all want to eat? Y'all got a total of $20. Be like, one of them wanted pizza, one of them wanted McDonald's, and I'm like, I'm not taking you to McDonald's, so you kill that. And if it was Tuesday, it was Popeyes. They had the $2 two-piece special with a biscuit, and it was 125 back then. This is early 2000. It was 125. Man, $10 get you a lot of food back then. Well, look, in another minute or so, I'm gonna jump off here. I just kept talking like I was having an actual conversation. Hopefully, somebody listened and got a little something out of this. I don't know, because I have a time where I'm focused on what I'm talking about, and other times I'm just having the conversation. It's the nature of the beast. Nature of the beast, baby. If I was anyone else, if I was anybody else, it wouldn't be me. What you get is what you see, or vice versa. Either way, it makes sense to me. But look, I'll be back. Today is Wednesday. I'll be back on Friday. Same Daddy's Lounge time, same Daddy's Lounge experience channel. And right now, I'm just gonna keep growing. I won't. I'm sorry. I woke up this morning thinking to myself, there is nothing that I should doubt on everything that God has shown me from all the times I got up off the operating table, from all the times my son took me through some stuff and they made it through. Just from not having any money to getting a four-bedroom house. How is that possible? Think about it. So it's just amazing. It's just amazing. So I would doubt anything. Nothing. You know, just nothing. And that's the way I'm going to live my life. And that's the way I taught them. And if you're sitting around doubting right now, thinking you can't make it and you don't make enough money, you don't have a job, you'll never find any peace or happiness if you leave. If you stick and stay and take the steps, you just stay focused and take the steps and do what you need to do. Watch all the blessings that's gonna come to you. And that's not a fairy tale. That's the truth. But look, God bless each and every one of you. El Chicano, which is Alonzo, Miss Boycott over there, or yeah, well, it's a woman's picture, so that's what I'm saying, Miss. So thank you all and everybody who's gonna watch this on replay and everybody who watched this in the bushes and stay quiet. Thank y'all. I appreciate that. I'll be back on Friday. I'm gonna be all relaxed like I am now. I've been up since 3 o'clock, 3:30 a.m. Can you believe it? How many hours is that? Let's see, 12 is 3 plus 4. So that's 16 hours I've been up. I'm gone. I got to go. Y'all have a good night. All right, all right, all right.